and we're talking about like Jacob and I were sitting on the couch on other sides of Addison, and we said the same thing at the same time. And she just goes, "Whoa, it's like I have surround sound."
Oh.
Did I tell you about this?
I think so.
And then out of fucking nowhere, after a couple of seconds of silence, Sam just goes, "My Spotify set to mono."
And then Jacob was
and
like,
Jacob goes,
"Hey, dude,
who the fuck are you talking to?"
Hey, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, God. I mean, Jacob has, like, some of the best comedic timing I've ever seen.
That's
so
amazing.
It was so funny. Sam just, like, kind of absent-mindedly goes,
"Oh, no.
My Spotify said to mono.
Who the fuck are you talking to?" There's a clip on TikTok that I showed my sister.
Should we start the...
Thank you. There's a clip on TikTok that I showed my sister, and it's these two... Sorry, this is like really bad.
See,
audio.
you always make fun of me whenever this thing.
No, but last time I put the mic stand over here, and then you like couldn't see my face for some of it because the mic stand was like blocking. It just like looked bad. So I'm trying to keep it over here. I might just do this and then scoot over. It's this TikTok that I showed my sister, and it's just like the only thing in the frame is this girl. Like her hands, and she's like cutting up food, and the caption is like, "I was trying to record a cute video of my sister cooking," and she's just like, you literally only see her hands chopping food, and the sister who's cooking goes, "I see you recording me, you fat bitch," and the person recording goes, "I was only recording your hands, you stupid fat fuck," and it's like,
I see you fucking recording, you fat bitch. Okay, you stupid fat fuck. I wasn't fucking saying I wasn't recording, bitch.
that if that's not what it's like to have a sibling,
yes,
where it like escalates so quickly, I literally don't know what else the sibling experience is. You stupid fat fuck.
There was a great sibling experience in this episode we're about to talk about, actually, that I would love to discuss.
I have so many thoughts. I know exactly what you're talking about, I think.
Yeah, before we get into it, I was at an event for Second Harvest the other night.
Shouts out.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, it's called Generous Helpings. It's like this...
oh, that's a cute wordplay.
Yeah.
I like that.
So a bunch of local restaurants come out, and it's like 5 lines of food, and they're just like offering samples of things that they serve.
Keep
at
talking.
their
I'm
restaurants.
going to unplug my microphone.
And no, you're good. And it's like a really cool fundraiser. People buy tickets and go, and people like vote on what their favorite like savory item was, their favorite sweet item. It's just like a really cool benefit. It raises a lot of money for us, which is super cool. We are standing there watching, like as like our director of external affairs, not director, our head of external affairs, was up on stage talking. And as this is happening, I hear a pop kind of like up towards the ceiling. I just heard like a light pop, and look up, and an electrical outlet had caught fire. It goes
in the building.
Yeah, it goes, and then like there's just like a little flame. And so my boss, the director of community engagement, is right in front of me, and I was like, "Hey,
real quick,
there's a fire right now. What should we do about this?" And as like as Allie is still up on the stage talking, and no one else really has seen it besides like one other person, I found out, and so I ran back and told the guy who's organizing it. He told the people that are hosting this, and it got taken care of. Which the other insane thing about this is, it got taken care of, quote unquote. A guy reached up there with his bare hands and just unplugged it, which I don't think is what you're supposed to do.
Is this real?
Yes, this all happened.
Okay.
This is not a setup for a bit. This
isn't like the time that you got me about the bees.
Oh yeah, that was really good, wasn't it?
But you are making eye contact with me, and that time you told me the story about the bees, you couldn't look at me, and you were also giggling. Okay, anyway.
No, this all actually happened.
That was crazy. Anyway, keep going.
that was one of my favorite moments on the podcast.
It's the only time I've ever been like got by you.
Yeah, you got
crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, there's an electrical
So
fire.
he just reached up with his bare hand and just like went for it
and just unplugged it.
That is, and it was on fire.
There was like
or it's like close to fire.
No, there was a flame. Yes.
That's wild.
Yeah, there was an audible gasp from everyone in attendance.
Are you aware of the Be a Man account? on.
Be a man.
No. The one that's like, don't call in sick to work. Die. Be a man. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, maybe.
That like account is one of my favorite things, and that sounds like something that they would say, like, don't put on a glove, put your hand in the fire, be a man. That is wild.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready to get started?
Yes.
You ready to do the intro?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back to the Pyramid, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. My name is Amanda, and I am your host every single freaking week, except for the weeks that I'm not.
And I'm Eli, the dipshit participation trophy of co-hosts.
Incredible. Welcome. I learned a lot from last week from the recording experience in the sense of like the best framing,
Charging the battery,
making sure that the camera card is clean, blah, blah, blah. I also turned on autofocus. There's like halfway through the recording last week, it starts focusing on the lamp.
Oh, damn.
Because it's not on autofocus. It just like, when I adjusted it to change the battery or whatever, it just like focused on the lamp. And I was like, okay, that's fair. It's a sick lamp, but not sponsored, but could be by Home. Actually, I don't know if I want to be sponsored by Home Depot because they're a bunch of Republicans.
Lowe's is the better one, right?
Lowe's is the better one, yeah. Lowe's does Pride stuff.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Love Lowe's. Anyway, love the lamp, but not the moment, not the focus.
Do you really love the lamp?
Oh my God. If there was ever a question in my mind about whether you're a straight male.
Yeah, Anchorman references will really seal
Is that what
deal.
I Love Lamp is from?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, whatever.
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell is an Anchorman?
Yeah, he played Brick, the guy that said that.
I thought Will Ferrell was an Anchorman.
Also,
Are they
yes.
both an Anchorman?
And Paul Rudd.
I hate Will Ferrell.
What? All right.
I think we've talked about this. The only Will Ferrell movie I like is Elf. Because I'm like a good American. But
you're allowed to have your feelings.
I really don't like him. He just like rubs me the wrong way. I don't know what it is. Him and Jim Carrey. I'm just not. Really? But I love The Truman Show.
Excellent
Jim Carrey movie. That movie is so good. That movie makes me sob uncontrollably.
Yeah, the ramifications
when he,
of it.
Spoiler alert for a movie that came out like 20 years ago. When he like dips at the end, sobbing, uncontrollable, hysterical.
He figures it out when he like bumps into the wall. I lost it.
It's crazy, and the music is really good, and like. I appreciate in that story that Truman's not mad. He's not like, fuck this, and like, everything's a lie. And he's just like...
I would have lit stuff on fire.
Yeah, but he doesn't have that like malice in his heart. He's just like, okay, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And then just leaves. And it's like, I'm just making a conscientious decision to leave.
Yeah,
bye.
It is really crazy.
I love that movie. That movie is so good. I think you can stream it on HBO, and I... wholeheartedly endorse that movie. Unless it's problematic in some way, then I don't.
I don't think
then I hate that movie. I don't know. Just in case, covering my bases. Just in case
I think
it's
the
revealed
knowledge.
to be problematic.
When did that movie come out? Like the 90s?
Maybe the 80s. Maybe the late 80s.
Either way.
Alexa, when did The Truman Show come out?
Let's find out.
Alexa, when did The Truman Show come out?
She's not listening.
98. Oh, interesting.
Oh, okay.
I would have thought it was older than that.
Either way, a lot of stuff that came out in the 90s, like there's kind of the understanding that some of it may not age well. I think The Truman Show's okay. I think it's okay. I don't know. Go watch it.
Anyway, it's a good movie. Yeah, go watch it and then tell me if it's problematic and I should change my opinion. Eli, you ready to do your pyramid of life, bruh?
Oh, you betcha.
Slay. Do you want to go first while I pull up my notes app?
I can, yes. The bottom of the pyramid is that Tennessee just passed a bill to allow teachers to carry guns in schools.
Is it fully a law, or has it only made it halfway?
I think it needs to be like signed in, but it passed. It like made it out of committee or something. At least
I know it passed.
I think it said passed
the House of Representatives. I think it has to go to the Senate.
Either way, the fact that it made literally any progress in the government is bananas. Yeah. Especially since as the vote was being taken or whatever, there's like teachers and parents and administrators all like pleading with them not to do that.
Some of whom had been in a school shooting before.
Yes. And Tennessee Republican lawmakers are just like, no, we're bought and paid for by the NRA and this is happening.
Yeah. For those
whether
international...
you like it or not.
Yeah. For our international listeners, this is grossly reductive, but like part of the process of something becoming a law in the states at both like a state level and at like a federal level, which was like all the states put together, a bill has to be, that's like a pre-law, and a bill has to be signed in as like, yes, this is a thing we want to do by 2 bodies of people. And then it goes to the highest rank. So it will go through the House of Representatives, it'll go through the Senate, and then it'll go to either the governor if it's a state law, or it'll go House of Representatives, Senate, President if it's at the country level, if it's at the federal level. So it is disheartening that it made any progress and got passed through. And it's not a law that says that teachers have to carry guns. It's a law that says that teachers can carry guns in school, which is like so upsetting and so alarming because of the history that America has with guns and with school shootings and mass shootings in general, not even mass, just like people just shooting guns and shooting people all the fucking time. And the fact that they're like, yeah, if a teacher wants to carry a gun inside of a school with children in it, they can totally do that.
Oh yeah, kids are gonna die because of this.
Or teachers. Like
People will die because
I'm
of
waiting
this.
until like just like the first accident. You know what I mean? Like people die from gun accident stuff all the time. Like it fires completely by accident. That happens more often than people care to admit, and people die from that kind of stuff just from an accidental firing. So like that could happen to a student or to a kid. Like it really doesn't matter. Like there is so much, the margin of error in that situation is like razor thin.
Yeah.
Between 100% success and one too many people dying is one too many people dying. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. And this is just a Tennessee thing, which is also, last summer we had the fun moniker of being the first state ever to try to make doing drag a crime.
Yeah.
So that's really fun. Love Tennessee. Love that we are doing both of these things. We're pioneers of both.
Yeah. Bill Lee, if somehow...
Our governor.
Yeah, Bill Lee is the governor. Bill Lee, if you're somehow watching, if this clip makes it into your viewing radius... I mean, from the bottom of my heart, go fuck yourself.
From 2 former teachers.
Go fuck yourself in the worst way possible.
And you can't tell me to not say that because I have freedom of speech.
Yeah, the thing that you claim to love so much. Jesus.
Crazy shit. Our state is from 2 people who also grew up in this state.
Totally fucked.
So embarrassing.
Yeah.
Hella embarrassing.
Yes.
Our only saving grace is that we currently live in one of the 2 Democratic counties in our whole state. Yeah. So there are pockets of Nashville that are really fucking cool. And there are pockets of other cities or counties that are Republican that are also really cool. But it's not the government that makes us cool. It's the people. You know what I mean? We are cool in spite of our government. That's like fucked. That sucks. The bottom of my pyramid is something way lighter than that.
Dig us out of this trench.
I refuse, on principle and because I'm poor, to pay for YouTube Premium. I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to pay the extra tier for Hulu to get rid of ads because I don't really care. And also sometimes like I'm like the perfect marketing audience. I'm so susceptible to ads. And I'm like, yeah, dude, do the multi-point marketing. Sell me something. And if I see an ad for something, then I'll be like, oh my gosh, I should buy this thing. You know, I don't give a fuck. That's great. If they're targeting me, I'm like, what you got? You know, let's see what the algorithm spits out.
Yeah.
I have never in my goddamn life needed to buy contacts. Ever. I have 20/20 vision. I don't need to buy contacts. Every time there is an ad break on YouTube, I get an ad and I hear the little for 1-800 contacts. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. I have and like it's generated from Google. It's generated based on your Google searches. Allegedly, I've never Googled where to buy cheap contacts ever. Mark Zuckerberg, if you're listening, please stop giving me 1-800 contacts ads. I don't wear contacts. I don't need it. And there's also an ad for this like custom hair care bullshit that's called Pros, where you take a quiz and pay $50 and you get custom shampoo and all this bullshit. I've also never Googled that ever.
Well, you have talked about
I guess,
hair.
but like
that makes slightly more sense.
I've also never clicked on either of these things, and this has been running for months.
That's wild.
I almost don't remember a time before these ads.
The before times.
And I know I could pay. I know I could do YouTube Premium and like not do it, but like I don't want to do that. I don't want to do $2 every 30 days or whatever it is. I don't want that. I'm down with an ad. But stop giving me ads that don't apply to me. It's so... Sell me something else. I'm very susceptible to peer pressure and marketing. Sell me something I'll buy. But I'm not going to buy either of those things because I don't need either of those things.
That's fair.
It drives me nuts. The end.
You saying that reminds me of one time I asked a pirate why he was wearing a steering wheel on his pants. Like wearing a steering wheel right on the front of his pants. And he goes, "Yar, it's driving me nuts." For the audio listeners, you need to go to YouTube and
imagine how tired we are
and watch Amanda's face just for that joke.
Imagine how tired we are.
The middle of my pyramid is last night I was at a murder mystery dinner theater.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go? The reason why we had to reschedule, P.S., why we're recording at 8:30 a.m. on a Saturday.
Yes. Went to that. Like, it is a cool idea. The food, honestly, was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was on some rooftop of a hotel.
Oh, it's like a pop-up thing? It's not like this is the business that always is like that?
No, it's not there permanently. They move around, but it was on some hotel rooftop.
Downtown?
Yeah.
I love a rooftop event.
So there were like helicopters going around. We could hear...
What's a copter?
We could hear...
Helicopter?
Pedal taverns, which if you're not from Nashville, it's basically like...
It's what it sounds like.
It's like a bar of like 12 people sitting around pedaling, not actually doing anything, but they sit facing each other at a bar, and that is on a vehicle that drives slowly down the streets of downtown Nashville.
Have you ever looked into doing one of those pedal taverns?
Not even sort of.
One of my friends did for her 30th birthday. She was looking into making us all do it. You have to bring your own alcohol.
Yes.
And it's like $50 a seat.
Yes.
Anyway. When I learned you had to bring your own alcohol, I was like, yeah, there's no fucking way I'm doing that.
Yeah, you're telling me I'm going to drink in public and work out at
outside.
The same time? Insane.
No, I'm not doing that.
Anyway, so like the food was good. The rooftop view was beautiful. But the concept of it, like you get there and everyone... Like a few people are like assigned roles kind of at random.
Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
And they're given a binder.
Some audience participation.
Yeah, they're given a binder. So there's a few like character actors and then a few audience members are also chosen. There was, I don't know, like 30 people there in total. So it's not like a huge event or anything. However, the whole concept relies on complete strangers being able to like remember lots of qualities and information about their characters. And so like you ask them a question, they have to know the answer to it as their character, which in several cases literally did not at all happen. In fact, they gave like the opposite answer that they probably should have. And it led to some really like clunky encounters.
Yeah.
And the actors that were hosting the thing were not like quite good enough or maybe experienced enough with this one to like be able to handle it really well. So it just led to like some awkward encounters with it. Overall, it was fun.
Sure.
But they tried to choose audience members. Like they just walked around like, "Hi, you look like we think this character might."
Sure.
And they just chose very wrongly on like a couple of people. I think it's hard to like, you can't remember a binder full of information after reading it for 10 minutes.
Also, did you know going into it was audience participation?
I had a suspicion, yeah.
But was that like openly told to you in the marketing?
No. Well, there wasn't really marketing because Addison and Jess were just like, hey, let's look for something fun to do. Oh, here's a fun thing. Eli, we got you a ticket. And I was like, okay.
Well, but like in like whatever Instagram post she saw or like TikTok or whatever, however she found it. Because like if that is the case, like, you need to tell people that going in, because if people have been bamboozled and you like walk in and this is just like what you're doing now, and it's like, oh, I wasn't really prepared to like take a test or engage with an actor.
Yeah, so
that's also shitty on their part.
Addison likes to present information to me in the most confusing way possible, and she was like, hey, we're going to a dinner movie mystery thing. And I was like, okay, what is that? And she goes, I don't know, but we're going. I was like,
love.
She's like, well, it's a mystery dinner theater. I was like, you're giving me no additional information
what does
right
that mean,
now.
dear?
What does this mean? What are we doing? She's like, I don't know. It'll be fun, though. Like, okay, well, then fucking,
okay, great.
I guess I'm going, and I'm going to find out there.
That's amazing. Addison, write in. Let me know. Because
Oh, she will.
They need to, like, tell you going into it.
They probably
Audience
did.
participation will be required.
Yeah, but she didn't tell me that.
No, I know, but, like, they should... The other people who were clunky and stupid that aren't you, they, like, could have avoided that being clunky and stupid by telling people ahead of time.
I guess, yeah.
You know, but that sucks. I had a similar feeling when I was telling you, I went to a concert on Thursday, and the artist was like, all right, this is, and I hate it when artists do this. All right, this next song is going to require, I'm going to sing and you're going to sing back to me. No, I'm not.
You got to be way in it.
I don't want to do that. Yeah, and also, I don't want to sit here and go to school and learn a new song that I can echo some parts of it back to you.
This also isn't
that.
This isn't my concert. I'm not
right.
performing.
Like, I just want to sit here and fade into the crowd, you know? I also did fight someone the other day at this concert.
Okay, well, we're going to skip the big dumb cup bit I was about to do. What?
I almost got into a fist fight, and my friends had to, like...
Was this the one where someone was scooting into your row?
It was... No, that was a long time ago, but that did bother me. This was at the Basement East, which is... Have you been there? Which is like... It's standing room only. You're literally... It's just a bunch of motherfuckers just standing around looking at a stage. And this fuck-ass man kept not only bumping into me and separating me from my friends by, like, stepping in front of me. He was trying to make eye contact with the drummer the whole time because I guess they were friends. And he was talking the whole time. Not giggling with your friends in between songs.
Yeah.
The songs that were slow and moving that everyone knew, he was loudly talking about, because Up Down is next door, about whether or not they could get $3 shots at Up Down after it was over.
Christ.
I was like, can you shut the fuck up? Like, literally shut up. Like, read the room, never read it. Understand that everyone in this room is, like, obviously experiencing a slow, powerful, moving song that is a hit that everyone knows. And shut up, maybe. Even if you don't know it, even if you just met that drummer on the street 5 seconds ago and now you're bros for life, shut up for like 3 minutes. Just let people do their thing and shut the hell up. And when he started talking about doing shots, while most people in the audience are like tearing up and the people on stage are also having an emotional moment, I like looked at him and was like, and looked at my friends and I was like, I'm literally gonna fight him. And they were like, no, it's okay. There's more space over here. Let's just move. Oh, I wish a motherfucker would. Oh, he was really trying it. I was really trying
That's really frustrating.
It was really frustrating. Anyway, I'm sorry that experience was kind of clunky.
Well, overall, it was still like a fun thing to do.
Sure.
Some of the people we were with, like one guy at the table I was sitting at was hilarious. Like, he didn't like overdo his character. Like, there's the people that like get way too into their characters.
And it's like, all right.
And are just like over the top, like, all right, settle down. Like, that's not what this is. But he was like the perfect amount.
I love that.
He was supposed to die at one point, and he did it like very in character. And as he died, he like tipped his hat and then slowly took his glasses off and set them down gently on the table. It was so funny how he just goes "good day" and then
and then passes away.
It was really funny.
That is really funny. The middle of my pyramid. I can't remember how many of these I've already said before because I've recorded 50 million episodes of this podcast. But going to a campfire or having a fire pit, slay, the vibes, incredible. There is nothing like being at a fire with your pals, doing your thing, getting a little lit, smoking a little devil's lettuce, doing your thing.
Eating some marshmallows.
Oh my God, I slammed some s'mores last night. It was so good. But when I got home, the smell, the stench would bring a tear to a grown man's eye. I smelled like ass when I got home. I smelled so bad. And it was so, like, late at night, and I knew we had to get up, and I was like, I'm just going to have to take a shower in the morning. Like, I cannot.
Oh, damn.
And I felt so nasty, but I was so tired, and I was like, I'm going to go to sleep with, like, wet hair, which I hate doing that. And so, anyway, it was just, like, the vibe is the best, and it's, like, so worth the stink, but the stink is so bad.
It's real bad, yeah.
Also, fuck my friends, because they've given me a new thing to be insecure about.
What?
I did not know that I did this until my pals pointed it out to me at the campfire last night. They said that I say the word ass really weird. Do you find this to be true about me? Live on air to our live studio audience. Do you think I say that word weird? Because now I don't want to say it, but sometimes it feels like the only thing I can say.
I wouldn't say it's weird. It's not like what is it, the Midwestern where people say ass.
Oh.
It's not that, but it's not ass. It's not like a smooth
ass.
ass.
A smooth ass.
A smooth ass.
Okay, that's fair.
It's kind of like a halfway point between. You like really put some stank on it. I'll say that. You have a stanky ass.
That's good to know. It was such a weird moment because JD, shouts out the executive producer of this podcast, he had told me last night that every time that I say that something sucks ass, like, is like his favorite thing ever. He loves it when I say that something sucks ass.
Well, because you never say it casually like you just did. You say, that sucks ass. You like really
true.
go for it.
That's true. But then I was like, oh, like, you know, whatever. And he was like, you just say the word ass so like funny. And like everyone else was like, oh my God, I know. And I was like, what do you mean you know? What the hell? I was like, what do you guys fucking talking? Yeah, you talk about the way I say ass when I'm not around.
Apparently.
And everyone was like, oh no, it's so funny. And I was like, I don't know how to take
like this.
that. It's so funny. It's not always a compliment.
Yeah, let's go back 10 seconds before I knew this information.
Yeah. Anyway, I was like, what's going on? Okay, what is the top of your pyramid?
The top of my pyramid is very simple. So last episode, I talked about how my AC was out, and Lee Company, fuck Bill Lee, quoted me $9,400 to fix it.
Oh, that's right. Because the governor owns an HVAC company.
There can't be any conflict of interest there.
No, and he did it. He owned that company before he became governor, and that was literally the only like qualification that Republicans cared about, was that he was a business owner. And then they were like, you can govern our state.
And that means he's self-made and knows everything.
That is so embarrassing for Republicans. Anyway, sorry, continue.
What isn't? So anyway, I was quoted $9,400 by Lee Company. And I was like, that sounds too much. I'm getting a second opinion.
Good for you.
So this other company, Griffin Mechanical, not a sponsor but could be, came out. They're like awesome. A smaller company. They came out and the guy said, okay, so Lee Company is borderline like a criminal enterprise. Their whole goal is just to sell more units. It's never to fix the problem.
I didn't know that was that first quote, or I would have told you to get a second opinion, because I've heard that before.
Yeah, and so this guy comes in and he's like, okay, well, first of all, I won't go into all the details. He fixed the entire thing for $162.
That is, criminal doesn't even scratch the surface, dog.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you just needed, like,
there
are a couple of nozzles that didn't have caps on them, and so you have this coolant leak. That's probably where it's leaking. So I just put some new caps on and
like time.
Put some
You're
more,
paying for time.
Oh, he's like, I put a little bit of coolant in it. I put the caps on, and like that 30 minutes of labor that it took, you're good. I woke up cold this morning.
Oh, that's a good feeling.
Yes.
Huh? Yeah.
I texted.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Peek behind the curtain. I texted Amanda, like 7:30 or so. We started recording. I got here at 8 a.m. Text her at 7:30, like, hey, if you like need to push this back or whatever, just let me know, because I was like, I really want to stay in bed right now.
I'm feeling chilly.
Yeah, it was chilly outside, really warm and toasty.
Does Otis sleep in your bed?
No, his hips have gotten bad. He also just is too hot.
That's what I was gonna say. If he does sleep if he's in the habit of sleeping in your bed,
he doesn't sleep in the bed.
It's hot.
Sometimes during the winter, he would jump up and like lay on the edge of it, and then still like get off at some point in the night, because he would get too hot. But now, no, he's too old and he doesn't want to jump up.
Oh, baby boy. How old is he?
He's 11.
I was going to say like 10 or 11.
Almost 2 months ago.
Sweet baby boy.
Yeah.
The top of my pyramid is my haircut.
I noticed, and I knew that was going to be the top of your pyramid, and it looks great.
Thank you. I love her. And this is the link that my mom used to keep my hair when I was a child. For the audio listener, first of all, if you're the audio listener, you should watch our YouTube videos. They're very funny, and they add a lot. But
run them both simultaneously.
Yeah. 2 separate feeds.
With a slight delay, so it sounds like we're in a cave.
Surround. So like my hair is now like just barely off my shoulders. It's like I'm in my fuck ass bob phase, which I'm like so excited about. This is the link that my mom used to keep my hair when I was a child, because my hair is so curly that it was just so much easier to just like lob it off, because it's just like too much. So like a lot of my like school photos from elementary school and like all those kinds of things are this length. And then in like the 2010s, having short hair was like so not cool. You need to have like the long Miley Cyrus hair that's like almost down to her hips. Like long hair was like very much. And there was a time that girls like went through this phase of using horse shampoo, mane and tail shampoo, to get our hair to grow long. What? I never did that because I was like, that's insane.
What?
But like, oh yeah, that was like a thing, a full on thing. So like I let it grow out, but it never really worked because my hair is curly and it never grew down. It just kind of grew like out when I was going through puberty. It just like kind of expanded.
The pyramids of Giza.
Yeah, kind of. It was so bad. And so then it like, it died and fell out in college, and then it grew back in and it grew back gray and straight. And then it started to curl up just in the last couple of years. And so I went in and I got the color corrected, because there is still some blue in it, but there's like a gloss, like a brown color deposit conditioner that's over it. So it's like all one color again. It's like back to the length that it was. And I feel like this is how I'm canonically supposed to look. Like long hair never really made sense for me, but like a short curly bob feels like the way that I am supposed to look. It's the way that the universe wants me. It's like, yeah, of course she looks like that, actually.
Short curly bob sounds like a character in like a 70s like wet.
Oh,
like,
I was gonna say
he's
like
in the Dukes of Hazzard.
He's like in a spaghetti western.
Yeah, he's in the Dukes of Hazzard.
Short, like tall curly bob? No, short curly bob.
Oh, short curly bob.
Anyway, Fruits Hair Lab hooked me up. They are the best if you're in Nashville
Not a
and
sponsor,
need it.
it could be.
Not a sponsor, but if they were, I would like shit my pants. They're the people who that company is owned by Haley Williams of Paramore fame, because Haley Williams is from Nashville.
Dope.
And she owns her hair company or hair color line, and they have a salon. And that's where I got my color corrected and got my hair cut, because I fucked it up with their blue. Mm. And they were like, oh, did you use this shade of blue? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, yeah, that doesn't come out. And I was like, you should put that on the box. Like, you should say, like, if you have been through a situationship with a fuck-ass man in the last 30 days, do not buy this product. You will regret it forever. Anyway, it all worked out, because this is the length of this is what I'm supposed to look like, so it all worked out. But anyway, my fuck-ass bob is on the top of my pyramid. You ready to talk about this episode?
You bet your bottom dollar I am.
I was kind of like cooking a little bit with this episode as like the beginning and the middle. It's like, this is a pretty standard episode. We're at PS. We're talking, and we're going to talk about the title in a second, but we're talking about...
I have a whole bit about that.
Okay, good. I need to know. It's season 3, episode 23, and it's called 2 Girls, 1 Solo, which we're going to talk about that name in just a second. I like thought this episode was like, oh, this is like a normal... Kelly and Christy are beefing for no reason. Abby's a tyrannical monster, whatever. The end of this episode, I was living.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this episode specifically because of the end. Because the end is wild.
Yeah, it was standard tomfoolery. And then
business as usual. The Goofy Goober show, business as usual. And then at the end, I was like, I have never felt more alive, actually, maybe. Maybe this is the peak of human experience. Okay, so... The
title?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let me talk
Break it
about
down.
This. So... 2 Girls, 1 Solo is the title, and my response in my notes was all capital. Fucking what?
Yeah.
So, for those that weren't on the internet back in like 2007, 2 Girls, 1 Cup. I don't know. I guess I can. I'm not going to go into detail, but 2 Girls, 1 Cup was one of the original like gross out videos on the internet. Like it is purely for shock value.
It's like something you would see on like 4chan or like the seedy corners of the internet.
Yeah.
Now.
It was actually on YouTube originally.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Because there was not the content monitoring at all that there is now.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't on there long, though. So I'm not going to go into much detail about what it was, but it was actually a trailer for a full-length pornographic film that I will not say the title of.
Good.
Yeah, I just learned that. So I will henceforth be referring to Two Girls, One Cup as TGOC.
Perfect, thank you.
So TGOC was a cultural phenomenon. Those of our listeners who are aware of what that is are going, oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Because it had such a grip on society from 07 to 08 even.
Yeah.
There were reaction videos to it, not filming the actual
not
thing,
picture in picture,
but it was just someone recording a video of themselves watching it like this, and you
yeah.
just get to see their faces. Their people would set it up for their friends, hey, watch this video, and record their reactions. Daniel Tosh had one where he showed it to 100 people in his studio audience and got a reaction video of them. The fact that the episode of Dance Moms is kind of named after this video is legitimately fucking insane. It's so crazily inappropriate and borderline criminal to make a reference to that video in a show about children. I don't know what to say about it. It is bonkers because this episode came out in 2013, I think.
Yeah. 2013, 2014, yeah.
It definitely was after the Two Girls, One Cup thing.
When they knew better.
They
knew better.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, it's insane. I could not believe that because I've never seen the video. I don't know anything about it other than what you just said, that it's shock value and that it's gross.
It's one of the grossest things I've ever seen.
But I know canonically in the zeitgeist of culture what it is, in the sense of two girls, one blank. I know because I am aware is just a reference to Two Girls, One Cup.
Yeah.
And so there's no other way that you can take that if you have any grip on the internet culture at all.
Yes.
If you so much as have a YouTube account or a Facebook account, you know what that is. If you were, like you said, if you were aware of the internet in the early stages of it, you know what that is, and you know that it's gross, even if you haven't seen it. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Its reputation is that it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And to be about kids, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? And you could have named it so many other things.
Yes.
We're going to get to it in a minute, but you could have named it You Can Be Anything. Because that, later on we're talking about it, you could have named it so many other things.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me. I listened to part of my journey into journalism integrity, because you bitches bullied me, is to listen to Back to the Bar with Kelly and Christy.
Don't bully Amanda, bully me. Direct all of your bullying comments towards me.
They made a comment about this too, and Christy, because Brooke and Paige aren't really involved in the dynamic of this competition that we're gonna get into in a minute. Christy is livid about this. She was like, "That's my child."
Yeah.
Who's the subject line of this.
Yep.
That is insanity. She also, side note, Christy cites this as one of her top 3 worst weeks on Dance Moms, this stuff. Because think about how the way it ends for Chloe.
Oh, yeah.
She was she was in the bathroom after they stopped recording, calling her attorney saying, "I want out. I can't do this. I can't watch my kid go through this." So for Christy, obviously Christy's fine now. Everything's chill. But this is not a good episode for her, partly because of this title in retrospect. Thank fuck it is a normal length. I could not do another hour and a half episode, but when I pulled it up on Disney Plus, because I don't have ads on Disney Plus, shouts out, not a sponsor, but could be. And it's that would be awesome. We would probably have to stop swearing though. So I would turn it down because I can't help it. I pulled it up on Disney Plus and it said 42 minutes. And I was like,
yep.
If I'm about to be faked out and it's not that length on Hulu. And then I checked on Hulu and I was like, there is a God. Shouts out to Sky Daddy, big man upstairs, that this is a normal length, because I could not do it anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah, and then I have in all caps, thank God it's a normal length. And then the next line is, holy fuck, this title is problematic.
Yes.
Like, oh my God. You know what I mean? Okay, previously on, we get this, like, dance battle with the candy apples. This, like, not real weird fight between Kelly and Christy because of Jill.
It continues on.
It continues, again, because of Jill.
God, fuck you, Jill.
And Brooke went on a date with a 25-year-old. That, she didn't really. She went on a date with another child. But he does look like he's 25. Okay, we open at the Abby Lee Dance Company. Abby is she's like boogieing, busting a move bust down Miss Girl at the front desk, listening to her iPod Nano probably.
Yeah, she's
and like getting jiggy with the idea of plotting the end of the world probably.
Well, yes, because she smiles.
Well, yes.
She smiles at everyone as they come in, and Christy says in the next room, she says, "The apocalypse is upon us," and everyone kind of looks at her, and then Abby just smiled at me.
Yeah, and they're all like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
All the moms and all the kids are like in that like common area dressing room space, like the den behind all the studios. Christy says, she says it's the end times. She leaves, and Holly asks Kelly how things are between her and Christy, and she's like, we haven't really talked in like a week because like friends don't treat friends the way that she treated me, and we get this like allusion to this fake fight that has no real substance. They're not really fighting about anything other than the fact that they're fighting. And
it
it's
has gotten
like,
to that point. Yeah.
It's that fight specifically is pretty non-substantive. It's like pretty obviously produced, like a scripted fight kind of thing. But like we're gonna get to the end of that, thankfully, because that's kind of tired. Everyone goes into like the main mirror room for the pyramid. Abby says that there is cause for celebration because they were outstanding representatives of the ALDC last week. Where has that attitude been every time we've beaten Kathy?
I don't know.
That was like actual legitimate praise. Why don't we get more of that?
I don't know.
I kept waiting for her to be like, too bad you're all fucking stupid. But there was never this like, she like set up for the spike and it never happened. And I kept like,
the spike happens later.
That's true. Yeah, the whole episode is the rest of the spike. Asia and Christy, her mom, Christy Ray, they walk in. Everyone's like, oh my God, so good to see you. They weren't there last week, but they're back. Bottom of the pyramid of children. Asia is the bottom most child because she wasn't there last week, so Abby's like, can't really judge you.
Yeah, but she also is like, she was on a TV show and in a magazine. She was like, she's like, so that's great, but
you weren't here. Yeah.
Okay.
Nia is next. She like was lagging behind in the group number. Holly in her talking head calls BS. She's like, no, she was not.
Yeah, they also won.
She's like, if she was lagging, it doesn't matter because they were still the best. But Holly's like, whatever, girl, like do your thing. Kendall's next. She did a good job, but she needs to be stronger in rehearsal, which like, okay, non-substantive feedback, sure, whatever.
So in my teaching days, that happens sometimes. Like the band would just like have really poor work ethic in rehearsals, and like for a week or two leading up to a competition, and then somehow just have like the run of their lives. And it's like, guys, we can't like just turn it on for the performance. Imagine how good we would be. Imagine how good we would be if you turned it on for every rehearsal, and then that's just like natural.
That's just how you do.
Like you're getting lucky right now,
right?
And so there is a little bit to that.
That's fair. Paige is next. She what? Oh, this is so weird. She's on the bottom of the pyramid, and Abby's like normally second because Paige got second in her solo last week. Normally second is the first to lose, but you did well.
She said you had a great performance and should be proud. Then why
is she on the bottom?
Because she's Paige.
Yeah, literally because she's Paige. That's like truly the only rationale behind that is just because she's Paige.
So just fuck Paige, I guess.
Fuck off, I guess. Yeah. Damn. Middle of the pyramid, Mackenzie is the first on the middle. Abby says she has big plans for her this week. Okay, sure.
See, she literally says, I'm putting you here because this is where I expect you to be. So again, Paige can just fuck right off.
I guess. Oh
Why is Mackenzie above Paige? Paige got second place overall.
Mackenzie is there because of the future.
And you're just like, I expect you to do well, so I'm going to go ahead and put you over the Highland kid that I hate.
Who already did well. Admittedly slayed. Whatever. Chloe and Maddie are revealed to be at the same level because they were in a duet. They crushed it together, so they're on the same level. This has, again, Never been the case for any duet ever, but sure.
Well, honestly, that's fine. They were,
Whatever.
quote unquote, two professionals out there.
Yeah, whatever. And then the top of the pyramid, let's fucking go. Put your hands up in the air, make some fucking noise. Wait, hang on 1 second. Top of the pyramid is Brooke. Slay.
Yay!
Yay, Brooke. She danced her age with the senior company, and she fucking crushed it.
Hell yeah, dude.
This week we're going to Powerhouse competition in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we're doing a group number that's called Living with the Ribbon. It is about cancer.
Yep.
That's a fact. There was a time in the 2010s where everyone remembered that cancer existed, and it was like this movement to like try to find a
that too.
It was like somehow like everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
it was the cool thing to do.
yeah, being like affected by, I think it probably had something to do with Lance Armstrong.
Maybe.
Of like, because he had cancer and like he was a super famous athlete.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was like not weird. Weird's not the right word, but like it did kind of seem to be like this coincidental thing of like every media outlet, every like pop culture thingy, everyone was on board with finding the cure for cancer.
Yeah.
Which is like great, love that. But it was just like this, we could have been doing this the whole time.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be like a cultural wave to be like cancer sucks, you know?
Yeah.
Melissa starts to really be emotional about this topic. She says that her mom died from cancer. She had cancer for like the time between diagnosis and death was about 9 months. And it was like very hard. It was like a really upsetting way to see your mom pass away.
Have you had anyone in your family deal with cancer before?
I have not. I've known other people, but no one in my family.
That's
no.
wild. 3 of my 4 grandparents died of cancer.
That is wild.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. It's like, I can't imagine, honestly, like really, truly. Melissa is like really emotional because it obviously is a very emotional thing to talk about.
Sure.
Abby takes this moment to remind everyone that there are children who live with cancer, which is so heavy, but also true. Kelly says that both of her grandfathers died of cancer and that her dad currently has cancer.
Yeah, that's rough.
And so this means a lot. I am sure this is not the case. I really hope these mothers were warned about this. I'm sure they weren't because exploitation is the name of the game.
Yeah.
But like that's very jarring for Abby to be like, guess what, everyone?
Cancer dance.
Yeah, we're going to talk about something that's very sensitive and is going to make everyone very emotional.
When has she ever done that before, though?
Well, she's done shit about like missing children and like school shootings. Yeah, like she does that all the time.
No warning there.
No, I know, but like it just would have been nice. Maybe not by her, but like by somebody who knew what was good. It would have been nice to be like, hey, by the way,
go ahead and guess. Didn't happen. No conversation was had.
No. This week, Mac and Asia both have solos. They're not in the group. Asia's solo is called Too Hot to Handle. Barf. Hate that. And Mackenzie's group solo is called Old West.
Old West. I'm glad you wrote that because
we're doing 2 very different things here.
I auto corrected to Old Weld, like WELD.
She like flips a hood down and like starts welding on stage. She doesn't even dance.
She builds a metal chair or something.
Yeah. That would be amazing. And then Maddie is doing a solo that's called Be Anything. And Chloe's solo is called You Can.
Get it? Because you can be anything.
We're going to find out later that Abby has given...
Do you get it?
They don't explain it in this moment right now. But you can guess based on the title. And based on the setup of Abby putting them at the same level on the pyramid and talking about how they're basically the same. That Abby is going to teach Chloe and Maddie the exact same choreography this week and have them perform the exact same solo and see who wins. I would like to... Well, actually, I'm going to get into that in just a second. At this point, Abby dismisses the moms and she says that they need to stop swearing and threatens to kick them out. LOL, whatever.
Yeah, because they were screaming last week.
They were kind of getting into it last week.
To the point where like all the dancers were like looking up at them.
And staring up at the Lido deck, yeah. We get to the group rehearsal. I think the elastic thing that they do here is like kind of cool, where they have this long piece of thick elastic that kind of like runs around Brooke and she like tumbles in and out of it a couple times. I think it visually is really interesting.
Yeah, and the fact that it's like a ribbon, like a pink ribbon, like people wore as like a pin or whatever.
We'll see them during the dance number at the competition. There's a point where they all kind of form a formation and hold the elastic, and the formation they're in allows the elastic to be a ribbon, like a cancer ribbon formation. So I think the elastic's like kind of cool. I really liked seeing Brooke kind of like
intertwined.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it's the message of like being like immersed with, or like the disease is like wrapped around you, and then she eventually breaks free from it.
Yeah. Abby says that her dad died from cancer at this point. And the moms, like, it's kind of like cut in with rehearsal footage. The moms upstairs are talking about how beautiful life is, and like, you know, you can't really take anything for granted because you never know, and like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Abby talks about the elastic, and I have in my notes, I don't hate this, which I hate most things on this show. Christy brings up the fact at this point that Christy Ray, Asia's mom, brings up the fact that Christy, Chloe's mom, and Kelly are not sitting together, and she's like, "What's the tea? What's good?"
Yeah, when they're both in there, she's like, "What's happening here?"
Yeah, and guess who pipes up to explain it and not include herself as part of the problem?
Fucking Jill.
Fucking Jill.
She's like, oh, they had a really bad fight.
They're beefing over blah, 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 blah. No, they're beefing because you started something.
Yes. She, like,
stirred the pot and then, did not include herself in any of the explanation about why the pot is stirred in the first place.
Yeah.
She's like, and they really shouldn't be fighting. We shouldn't really be fighting with each other. We should blah, 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 blah. You picked the fight.
Yes. Very
hypocritical of you, Joe. And then Holly says that the friendship disintegrated before their eyes. Okay, drama queen. That's really, really not accurate.
There's a really awkward silence afterwards, too. And then, the moms just kind of sit in that. And then Kelly in her talking head says, I need to step back and evaluate.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Which, we said in the last episode, Christy noted that Kelly needs space. I'm not going to go and try and fix everything immediately. She needs space. And Kelly kind of confirms that.
Yeah. Abby in her talking head says that she has something crazy planned to shut up the moms. And this is when she explains.
Shut those mothers up for good.
This is when she explains that Maddie and Chloe are going to do the same choreography. And she says she's tired of the moms talking about how it's not fair that Maddie and Chloe are so different choreography. How she's complaining that the moms are always complaining about Maddie and Chloe not being given the same chance. Yeah. So she's like, I'm going to give them the same chance now, blah, blah, blah. Chance. No one asked for this. It wasn't like last week we had some big exchange about Maddie and Chloe are, always pitted against each other and they're never given the same opportunity. And if you just gave them the same choreography, blah, 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 and then Abby would be like, oh, all right, bet I'll do it next week. This just kind of comes out of the clear blue ever loving nowhere.
Well, this is the way that she thinks it's the easiest to call it fair.
No, I know, but in terms of the plot of the show, it seems like this idea, which I understand why she had this idea, but it seems like it comes out of nowhere. Where she's like, "Oh, this week I'm going to address this problem that we keep having." Well, it's like, but we haven't had this problem in a long time. No one's brought this up in a minute.
Christy has mentioned it to the other moms. I wonder if it's been talked about off camera, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It just seemed like, why would you? Things, we were kind of getting along. That's why she brought it up. Things were too chummy. She was like, time to fuck shit up.
Jill then says, I'm going to go see if the kids are doing their homework, and then takes Christy, Chloe's mom, out of the room in the most obvious move of all time.
Let's go see if they're doing their homework. Come on, let's go see.
Yeah, Christy specifically, come with me. Let's do that.
She's like, whatever. Christy Ray, Asia's mom, asks Kelly what the real tea is. She's like, what's really going on? Yeah. And Kelly is like, I just need a break. I just need to, take a break from my friendship. Christy and Jill in the lobby, I think they're in the lobby, are talking about how Jill's in Kelly's corner, talking about what? Oh, talking about how the fight is in Kelly's court. It's on her now at this point. If she wants to reach out to me, Christy's like, I'm not going to beg you to be my friend.
Yeah, I value the friendship, but I don't think Kelly does.
Okay, and then Kelly cuts back up to Kelly upstairs, and she's like, and then right then I said to myself that she's not my best friend. If they're in the lobby, you can hear the lobby conversation from upstairs because it's like
Okay.
an open. Remember, because Abby will stand at the bottom of the stairs and yell up at the moms.
Yeah, I wonder if
So
they
it's,
went.
I just think it's so goofy. Like if you think about what's really going on, that like effectively probably the producers are like, okay, shut up. Okay, now you say, yeah. It's like, okay, this is dumb. We come back from commercial. Maddie and Chloe in the den discover, it seems from Back to the Bar organically, that the
Yes.
kids are like, oh my God, like what's going on? Our music is the exact same.
Yeah, Maddie was just like kind of playing hers, and Chloe's like, "Oh, you're playing my music."
And Maddie's
Wait,
like, no, this is my music. And then Maddie's like, why would they give us the same music? Which that moment very much feels not scripted.
Yeah.
Like they just like stumbled upon it
Yeah.
and figured it out. And Maddie's like, well, that's weird because it's the same number but different names. So if they're going to give us the same music, why don't they give us the same name, whatever? And Christy is like, to throw us off.
Yeah,
To make sure we don't figure out what's going on, sweetie.
Yeah, Christy says, "This is to teach me a lesson, I guess." And
Yeah.
because she obviously smells a stunt.
Yeah, duh. Kids, we're going to talk about the difference between equity and equality, which I don't know if you remember this, but way back in the day when we were in grad school, I gave a presentation about equity versus equality, and it was very funny. And
Is that the one where you had your suspenders or whatever, and you snapped them against your
no,
body?
wait, what is that? I wasn't
You're
wearing
like,
them.
Hey, I'm ready to talk about my feelings, and you snapped your
I
suspenders.
wasn't wearing suspenders though. But there was something
Yes,
in like a joke. I wasn't wearing suspenders.
Because you did the thing where you like pulled the straps out like this.
Oh, did I snap my bra strap? Maybe
You would not have snapped your bra in
Maybe
a Christian
not.
college.
Maybe not. I do remember. There's like a fuzzy memory of that joke, but this was different.
Okay.
The presentation I gave, because you weren't there when I said I'm ready to talk about my feelings.
Right, you've told me that story.
Yeah,
before.
I had
It
told
made
you
me
that
laugh a lot.
secondhand. Yeah. No, this presentation I gave was very funny because it was the difference between equity and equality, because they're not the same thing.
Correct.
And I had on my slides like the reasons why blah 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 whatever. And then I think the presentation was about how boys sports are typically much more funded than girls sports
Yeah.
or something like that, or the arts versus sports or something. And I had, anyway, this is stupid. This isn't worth retelling because you can't see it, but like it was, if I just like clicked through a bunch of things and a bunch of like funny things appeared. So I was like,
Oh, yes.
why you might be part of the problem. And then I appeared and it was like, don't worry, I still think you're cool. And then it would appear, but you might be part of the problem. It was like really
Yeah.
funny. And I think about that presentation a lot because it was like one of
do
my
remember
better
that one.
moments. And I also remember, we've said this before, the only person who I went to grad school with who had a sense of humor, unfortunately, was Eli. I was the funniest motherfucker in our cohort, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
very rarely got the flowers I deserved for being so funny. But Eli was like giggling and hooting and hollering when I was being funny. So
That's true.
that vote of confidence, I was like,
I was your
Yes.
biggest, I was your biggest and only fan.
yeah, that's actually so true.
We're back.
I
We're
just lost
in.
my place. Oh,
we're watching
wait.
group rehearsal.
Equity versus equality. So equality means that everybody gets the same thing, and equity means that you get what you need. So if you think about it as like a fence post, oh my gosh, I've like fully lost my place. If you think about it as people are trying to look over a fence.
That's the that's the example I always see that you might have used.
It was
actually.
in the graphic was in my presentation. If everyone's trying to look over a fence that's too tall, and all of these people, you have like kids, you have like teenagers, you have grown adults, and you give everyone the same box that is, you give everyone a box that's the same height to stand on. Maybe the grown adult will be able to see over the fence, but a child is still not going to be able to see over the fence, even if their box is the same size as the grown adult's box. It doesn't matter because the kid's too short.
And that's equality.
That's
Everyone
equality.
Got the exact same.
But
thing.
if you are practicing equity, you would give the kid a much bigger box than you would give the grown adult because the kid needs more to be able to see over the fence.
Yes.
Abby is practicing equality in this moment, but she's not practicing equity.
No.
Because she gives Maddie more lessons.
And always has.
And always has, and gives her other forms of preferential treatment.
Yes.
Chloe is, yes, technically getting the equal choreography,
For this
but
week.
not in value, just in practice. So she also needs to be given the same amount of rehearsal time, and she's obviously not. Okay, you pick it up while I find my place.
So we then are now watching the group rehearsal. We cut up to the Lido deck, and Christy, Chloe's mom, in her talking head, says that like choreo depends on like it playing to someone's strengths, and she's like, well, I think that Abby wants Maddie to win, so she's going to choreograph something that plays more into Maddie's strengths, which honestly, sure.
Yeah.
Holly says, like, listen, I just think she's trying to see who's better. And Kelly says, like, hey, this is an opportunity. This is Chloe's chance with the same routine in the same amount of time. Kelly, in her talking head, though, like, she's trying to be supportive in that moment, but in her talking head acknowledges, like, I don't like it. One of these kids is going to be upset regardless. And then Holly concludes with, this is a level playing field. This is the closest you're going to get to a level playing field. Take advantage of it.
I understand that perspective. I'm kind of surprised that Holly is like Team Abby.
I don't know that she's Team Abby. I think she and Kelly both were using language that's like, hey, we're trying to be as encouraging as possible. While they both clearly know, like, this is a stunt. This is
this is as good as
right?
it's going to get. Yeah,
but
I guess
they're
that's
trying
fair.
to be encouraging in the moment, I think.
I just expected Holly to make a point about she thinks it's fair, but it's really not. But
I mean,
it is
knows.
like take what you can get kind of thing at this point.
Yeah, she knows.
Mackenzie, we get a little bit of her solo rehearsal time. It is this goofy little Western cowboy yeehaw number. Asia comes in next. Christy Ray, her mother, her outfit is ugly as sin, as my grandma would say. It is the ugliest outfit. She's wearing neon orange tights and this gross print that's like, it's just so ugly. It's so 2013. It drives me nuts. The boots that she's wearing, like, she's really turning the party for 2013, which is not a good thing. It is very much a bad thing. It's so fucking ugly. I couldn't not talk about it. The outfit is ass. Jill notes that it's weird that Christy Ray gets to go into the mirror room and watch and no one else does. And Jill tells Melissa that she should be upset that Asia got to watch, that Christy Ray got to watch Asia rehearse and not Mackenzie. And that Melissa didn't get to do that. Jill, shut the fuck up. Stop trying to start fights.
She says, Jill literally says, we never get to do that.
Yeah,
it's
you
unfair.
should be mad.
Well, Jill, for sure, when she was a kid, used to measure her slices of pizza to make sure she was getting the biggest one.
Yeah.
She was like, well, that's a bigger piece than mine. You have to cut off a tiny little piece, a slice of it. So
she's
we get the
very
exact
much
same.
the friend that's like, what do you think she meant by that?
She's so
Jill,
annoying.
Jill, with peace and love, shut the hell up.
Yeah. She says to Melissa, oh, I hope you get to sit in there and watch your kid. Melissa very quickly goes, oh, I don't want to.
She's like, I don't care, actually.
Yeah.
She's like, shut up, Jill. I actually
Jill,
don't care.
Jill goes, well, you should. She's competing head-to-head with Asia. She should get the same treatment. And Melissa just is like, oh, I don't care. I like watching from up here. We're fine.
It doesn't matter.
Jill tries so hard just to rile everyone else up.
Yes, Jill, shut up, girl.
Golly.
This is embarrassing.
Jill,
shut up.
Jill wants equality.
Yes.
That's what she wants. She's like, I don't care
and just to start
who
something.
needs it. Well, yeah, but she's like, I don't care who needs it.
Yeah.
I just want to get the exact same thing as that person is getting. That's what I perceive to be fair.
That would be equality.
That's
is that what you said? Yeah. Yeah, that's what Jill wants. That everybody gets the exact same thing. Yeah. Yep. And also wants to be the center of attention.
Yeah,
but
she's real dumb.
Something else.
She's like a real dumb person.
That was devastating. There's nothing more, as much as I love to cuss and be creative about my insults, there is nothing more insulting than just straight up calling someone dumb.
So
or calling someone stupid. Like, that person's just stupid. I'm
one
like,
of my
damn,
employees,
that's crazy.
I got one better. I got one so much better. One of my employees, very jokingly, like someone didn't know something, like one of my other employees, we're all just kind of hanging out, joking around in the office. And one of the new guys I just hired called the other person. He's like, oh, you fool.
I was just about to say, fool is the only one.
Oh, God. That is a top line insult.
There's
gold.
I just remember there's a new episode of Abbott that I have to watch.
Fool.
But that's one of the things that Cheryl Lee Ralph's character on Abbott calls people all the time. Mr. Johnson, who's the this is a side tangent, he's the custodian at Abbott Elementary, and there's an episode that's centered around Cheryl Lee Ralph, who plays like the teacher who's like been there forever, like the grandmother Willow kind of like, let me teach the children, let me teach the teachers.
Sure.
I know all. She has a student who's in a wheelchair, and Mr. Johnson, the custodian, is trying to find the Americans with Disabilities, ADA, not FDA, ADA, like approved desk for a student in a wheelchair, and he can't find it. And that's like part of the thing is like, we have to find it before the student gets here because the student needs a desk.
Right.
And he wheels into her classroom a folded in half cafeteria table.
Yeah.
And he goes, is this what you're looking for? And Shirley Ralph goes, Mr. Johnson, that is a cafeteria table from the lunchroom, and you are a fool. Yeah, calling someone just a straight up fool or like, you're stupid.
Fool. Just
That's
like,
devastating.
It just hits so hard.
You're a fool. I'm like, oh my God, maybe I am. That's crazy. Christy and Jill are Pink Panther's Steve Martin Short stakeout Goofy Goober show. They're like gonna get the footage of Maddie getting an extra rehearsal. They're dressed in all black, big ass sunglasses.
Broad daylight, by the way.
In broad daylight, in front of God, Jesus, and everyone. They're like, we're gonna sneak in and sneakily videotape Maddie getting extra time.
Yeah, they said they're
this is everything.
incognito.
I really enjoyed this because they're like trying not to giggle the whole time because this is so fucking stupid.
They know it's funny.
Oh yeah,
They know it's so funny.
There is nothing. This is not an original thought. There is nothing stronger than the bond between two human beings who are in cahoots with one another.
Yeah, cahoots for sure.
Like big cahoots vibes. They are giggling. They're having a good time. I'm also giggling and having a good time as a viewer. It's great.
So, Christy
in the middle of the day.
Yeah, she's like, I'm sick of listening to Melissa lie about the kids, knowing the dances before they're even taught. And so they're in the parking lot, and they're like looking through their front windshield, pretending like they're creepily
Cue
looking
the
at
Pink
something.
Panther music.
Yeah, they walk up through the parking lot. They see that both of the teachers' cars are here, and they're like, both cars are in the parking lot. Kids must be getting private lessons. Sorry, I'm going to take over this.
No, go for it. Go for it.
Christy then in her talking head says Jill loves getting to the bottom of things, and she tries to know everything. So if there's a secret, she's gonna sniff it out.
True.
Jill then like goes in.
Christy like sends her in alone.
Yeah,
she's like, go.
You go in. I'll keep watch. Which the
studio was closed at this point allegedly. So like, what are you keeping watch for?
Yeah, hilarious. Yeah, so Jill goes in and Christy just stays outside. Jill then comes sprinting out after filming, crouches in the middle of the parking lot for a second to catch her breath.
And because she thinks she lost her sunglasses.
She's like, where are my sunglasses? Oh, I have them. Okay, let's go. And
she crouches down because she thinks that she left the sunglasses. She's like, oh no. And she squats down and she's like, I left my sunglasses. I've left evidence. And she goes, oh no, they're in my pocket.
Oh, no, they're in my pocket. And then they just continue running
away.
This whole scene reminded me so much of like when I was a kid and we were like rolling houses or playing pranks, just like them talking in very loud whispers and very fast.
Come on,
and trying to come up with hand signals like, all right, you go inside. I'll keep watch right here.
Yeah,
and
I'll go.
I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll let you know if someone's coming. Oh, it was so funny.
So goofy.
This was one of the silliest scenes I've seen.
Jill says that they've got footage of Maddie getting an extra lesson, so it worked, I guess.
Yep.
But it is pretty goofy.
Jill's like, I got the footage.
I got the
drive off.
She has this like file on her phone now. It's great. Abby's we cut to Abby being in the mirror room with Chloe and Maddie, and she tells them not something untrue, which is that in an audition, everyone gets the same choreography and it's up to you to like be different and to stand out and whatever.
Yep.
That is not why she's doing this.
No.
But that is a semi-unrelated good lesson to teach students.
Yeah, you also don't want to tell the kids, like, I'm doing this
because I hate you.
Because I hate
and
your mothers
moms,
especially.
Yeah.
Although
true.
she does actually literally tell Chloe, your mom is annoying and is making excuses. And then she makes Chloe stand in the corner while Maddie practices. Stand in the corner.
She also makes Maddie do it.
Yes.
But so face away.
Yeah, it's so weird. And then Melissa says, oh, this is like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
She has to stand
Kids
in the corner. Facing the corner.
And Jill, unsolicited opinion queen, says that Maddie and Chloe need to be able to watch each other to like be motivated, and that is what happens in an audition. You learn the same number and you watch okay, number of 69, it's your turn. Let's fucking go. And then at 68 and 70, watch 69 do their thing. And it's like, okay.
Watch 69.
Yeah, for you. It's like, well, I have to stand here and watch this bitch do her thing, and then it's my turn. Or, okay, I'm done. Let me see if the person who's after me is better. That's not why she's doing this. No. That's not the real tea, but that is true.
Yes.
She's not telling something. That's not telling a lie. She's just not telling the truth. Holly's like, this feels weird. I don't like this.
Although as it's happening, like as Maddie is dancing, you can see Chloe in the corner, like kind of.
She's like marking.
Doing the thing.
Yeah.
She's like, in her head, and she's like moving very slightly, like she's dancing along because she knows the music. Yeah,
Smart.
That's awesome.
Holly asks Christy, Chloe's mom, why she's so quiet. And she's like, I just have a lot going on in my mind.
Yeah, she said, well, she says,
and then she says, she's sitting right to the left of me. I'm like,
in her talking head, she's like, yeah, and that problem is directly to my left.
Yeah, not great.
Implicating Kelly.
Abby tells Gianna, the choreographer teacher, that Christy and Kelly have to dye this white elastic piece pink. Because pink is the color of cancer awareness.
She says, we need a pink ribbon. And then she tells Gianna, go get my two favorite dance moms, Christy and Kelly.
Go get them to dye this elastic pink. Because it's white right now. And Melissa is like, ooh, who knows what's going to happen? I hope they use this opportunity to break the ice, blah, blah, blah.
Totally.
These moms, we see them dyeing this elastic pink in the bathroom. Side note, they're not speaking to each other.
Not at all.
In the bathroom, it looks very awkward. Side note, in Back to the Bar, Christy and Kelly mentioned that at this point, because the fight was about nothing and they were so tired of being framed as like the bitches who always fight, they were like kind of being dicks to production on purpose.
Oh, I like that.
And they're like, if you're going to make us do this bullshit for another week where we're fighting for like 30 minutes at a time and then we're friends in real life after y'all leave and you're making us do this uncomfortable thing, we're just not going to say anything and give you super bad footage.
Yeah.
And they did. And the footage of them is super weird and not like worth anything.
Yeah,
and it's great.
Not one word is said between the two of them.
Nope.
And I remember thinking, this feels intentional.
Yeah. They're like in their podcast have said That's when
so
they
funny.
were talking about, they're like, yeah, we're so fucking tired of production. We were like, fuck this.
Yep.
We're just going to be in silence.
Yep.
Abby calls all the moms into the mirror room with the kids, and she's like, raise your hand if you know someone who's died of cancer.
Every hand goes up.
Every hand goes up.
As that happens, though, Asia, who is by far the tiniest person here, like all the hands are up. She squeezes between like Chloe and Paige, and she's like, my hand is also up.
So cute.
She's like, I don't know if you saw Miss Abby, but my hand is up.
This is insane, this conversation.
Yeah.
Abby is talking to them about cancer, and she says, how many of you think that you could live through cancer? That's an insane thing to ask a child.
She then talks about like the loss of dignity and control of your body.
She talks about how she found her dad seized up on the bathroom floor
my God.
because of a cancer complication.
Yeah, she says, who thinks they could pick their dad up? Because I had to.
Oh, I think I heard who could live through it.
Who could lift their dad.
Their dad is, I think, what she actually said.
Yeah, who could lift their dad, because I had to. He had a brain tumor and had a seizure. It wasn't pretty, but you all are.
It wasn't pretty. You all are pretty. And then she hugs Maddie because Maddie's crying.
That's fucking
even though all the kids are crying, she only hugs Maddie. She's like, oh, come here.
Well, she says, so Abby asks why Asia is crying. And then Asia, God love her, says, my dad's dog
when
died
I wasn't
of
even
cancer
born.
before I was even born, and it was really hard for him. And Abby goes, wait, what happened? She says, who died?
His daughter?
And
she goes, no, his dog.
His dog. She kind of laughs a little bit. It was very, like, for her, it's very cute because she's like, oh my gosh, because that's how she's connecting to it. She's like,
exactly.
This is something as like a 7-year-old I can wrap my brain around. And Abby's like, wait, his daughter? No, his dog.
Did Asia say that the dog died of cancer?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought she just said that the dog died and Abby just
died of cancer.
Assumed it was, okay.
No, but yeah, it seems silly, but really, like, and the dog's that's how she's connecting to Abby.
Yeah, the dog's name was Diablo, which is so sad.
And then Abby says one of the dumbest things she's ever said in her entire life. She says, all right, guys, let's wipe away the tears. Maybe if we win the dance, we'll win the cure for cancer.
No pressure. But if we win first place, we will cure cancer. That's crazy.
I mean, you can't prove that it won't happen. Therefore,
you know what? The cure for cancer will, in fact, be found after this dance that was performed 10 years ago. So maybe that's not. Maybe it's the butterfly effect.
I cannot tell you why my brain just did what it did.
There's no telling. Your brain is a barren wasteland.
You have no clue what I'm about to say right now.
I never do.
I don't know why this thought entered my head.
Spit it out, farmer.
But I just remembered that I have some frozen taquitos in my freezer, and I'm so excited to eat them after we record this.
That's amazing.
I don't know.
Oh, my God.
I don't know where that thought came from, but...
I have to tell you something off camera that has something to do with the Gronk.
With taquitos?
No, with Gronk.
That... All right, so you did the same
Talk
thing,
about it later.
too.
Yeah, kind of. I was thinking about himbo status, and then I thought about a story I have to tell you about the Gronk. Unrelated. Anyway, we're going to fight for the cure for cancer.
And taquitos.
Oops.
Fucking love taquitos.
I love that for you. But yes, to your point, this is a great way to contextualize Asia's age. That she's like so emotional, and the thing that makes her the most emotional is thinking about her dad's dog because she's a child.
Can I tell you a secret?
Sure.
I have cried over animal deaths so much harder than I've ever cried over a human death.
Dang. It's because you're soulless, probably.
No, it's because humans understand the concept.
That's true.
And
animals don't.
Do not.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're just, something's happening to them and they have no clue why it's happening.
Oh, I'm going to start crying.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, we go to commercial. We come back. We're at the competition. We're in the green room getting ready.
A commercial probably for contact lenses.
Oh, my God. Do, 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 do. That's the 1-800-CONTACT, like, beginning of their commercial.
Not a sponsor, but could you imagine?
It could not be. If 1-800-CONTACTs contacted me and they were like, we'll give you $5 million, I would be like, you could literally make it 3 and get your fuck-ass ad off of my screen. Or I would just turn them down all the way and be like, no.
Amanda, if someone offered us $5 million and you didn't take it, I would feel
Can you imagine?
Such rage.
On principle.
Such rage.
I'm not taking from 1-800-CONTACTs. They bother me.
No. All right, so like Lee Company contacts you.
Okay, now that's blood money. Yeah. And I would be like, no, probably.
$5 million, you're turning that down?
Yeah, I don't want $5 million Republican dollars. Are you kidding?
They spend the exact same way. We're in
I don't care.
Capitalist hellscape.
That is true.
Everyone
We're playing a game
price.
we didn't sign up for.
Everyone
That's
has
true.
their price and minus $5 million.
That's, you know what? That's fair. Okay, in the green room, Mackenzie is rehearsing. We're at the competition. And Christy Ray is wondering in her talking head if Mackenzie can be cute forever. The opposite question I have is, isn't it too early for your daughter to be sexualized?
Yeah.
She's like, she needs to grow up. No, she doesn't. She's 9, first of all.
I think more of what she means is like doing these little like cutesy pigtails dances. Or should she be learning maybe some like more demanding routines?
I don't know.
I think that's what she means.
That probably is, but like...
Christy Ray doesn't tend to be shitty.
I don't love Christy Ray.
I think she's okay. She hasn't said anything like she's not like Jill.
Yeah, I
or
guess.
Abby.
I don't know. It's just like...
The bar is on the floor.
The willingness for her daughter to always have... Which like... Let me actually not finish that thought because they don't have willingness at all. They're literally captive by contract, so never mind. I was going to say the willingness for her to allow her daughter to be in these positions where she is sexualized, but
yeah,
that could be said about any of the moms with any of the numbers because they are under contract. So never mind, I take that back.
True.
We see Mackenzie doing her solo, or it's time for her to go do it. Kendall gives her, I don't know why Kendall's backstage, but she gives Mackenzie a little pep talk and she's like, you're going to do so good. Just remember your dance and give it your best and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Mackenzie goes out on stage. There's lots of like smacking her butt in her dance, which I like really don't
I didn't watch.
live. It was like, that's weird.
But did you laugh or love it?
No, I didn't. No, I did not live, laugh, or love it. The dance kind of seems short. I'm sure that's just like an editing thing. And Melissa's like, you did great.
I skipped. I do the 10-second skip.
Yeah.
I did it like 3 times and I was already at, people were applauding.
They must have edited most of hers because it's probably like really hokey and cheesy.
Yeah.
It's Asia's turn. There is a move that the kids do all the time where they like have a pretty wide stance, their feet are turned out. It's like hands on knees and they like roll their shoulders.
Yeah.
They do that move all the time, and it's like the first thing that Asia does when she walks out on stage. I
remember my high school dance team. I remember seeing them. That was in like every single thing.
I don't know what that is, but it is very weird. Yeah, I'm like really uncomfortable. She's doing this too hot to handle kind of thing, and I'm like uncomfortable and I hate it. And
yeah,
so I guess she did good because I was really uncomfortable.
So I stopped not stopped, but as I'm clicking through,
You're seeing like the freeze frames, yeah.
Yeah, and I noticed like there were just like extreme levels of sass as she's doing it. Like she's like making faces. She's really performing.
She is lip syncing, by the way. She's mouthing all of the lyrics to the song.
That I did notice. I was like, is she singing?
We're gonna come back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like a drag. Have you ever watched drag?
I'm aware of it.
Part of most drag performances is lip syncing.
Lip sync for your life.
Exactly. Yeah.
See, I'm down with the culture.
How do you know about lip sync for your life?
Because you've brought it up.
Oh, is it because of me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I was going to be like, who's the other person in your life who's giving you the access to gay culture? Because I'm going to have to beat them up.
I also like I know other gay people.
So lip sync? No, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't. Also, other gay people. I'm not gay, but that's okay. You can assume that about me. That's fair. That's fine. I don't think that's a bad thing. But the part of the art form of drag is that you're lip syncing. Like you are the performer. This is like your song. You're lip syncing to "Into You" by Ariana Grande. Doing your thing.
Of course.
And Asia looks like she's giving a drag performance.
Yes.
She's dressed to the nines. She's doing her thing and she's lip syncing. I'm like, okay. Let's see. I'm uncomfortable, so I guess she did what she was supposed to do. That's my last note. We're back in the green room. Abby yells at Asia and she's like, you ruined your number because you were lip syncing. And it's like every time we get over a challenge with you, it's 2 steps back, blah blah blah. And Asia in her talking head is like, Abby can yell at me, but she's not gonna make me cry. I hate that.
Yeah,
I really hate that this single digit age child has put a lockdown on the tear ducts. That I really hate that, actually.
I do too. Abby then turns to Mackenzie and said, Mackenzie, did you watch From the Wings? Mackenzie says, yeah. And Abby says, what did you learn? And Mackenzie says, not to lip sync.
Yeah, let's
and all
fucking
the moms
go.
and the kids just died laughing.
And Abby is so pissed that she said something funny. That is the best answer
Abby
to
just,
not lip sync.
turns around and rolls her eyes. She's got nothing. She's like, shit, that was hilarious.
That is so funny. She got God. It's hilarious.
Yep.
We're running in the green room. We're running Maddie and Chloe's same solo.
So at one point in this part, Chloe like puts her arms up like this, and her mom's like putting a toner or something along. It's just
to carve out her muscles.
Yeah, something like that. And she puts her arms up like this, dude. She looks like Jack. She looks.
They're literally all muscle. There is a picture.
Like the delts and shoulders.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
there's a picture of Mackenzie on the wiki page for this episode, and she's like sitting on her hip like this with her arm up like this. It's all ab, and you can see it is like a straight up 6-pack on this kid because their metabolisms are like, at the speed of a hummingbird's.
Well, they're also working out.
And they're working out constantly. Exactly. And I'm sure they're not eating any junk food or anything like that.
I don't know.
I mean, that's true. Mackenzie does want to stay at home and eat chips and talk about Justin Bieber.
That's right.
So, same. That's representation in media for me. Chloe goes first. Christy is crying. Chloe is like literally slaying and crushing. And Maddie is like, I really want to win. I want to make Miss Abby proud. Maddie goes next.
Melissa's concerned, she says.
Yeah, she's like, uh-oh.
She's like, oh boy, that was good.
Maddie, you were skipping through, so you may not have noticed this, but Maddie's song is obviously the same. They do pitch it about a key lower, which is interesting to me. It's the exact same song, just in like one lower key.
Weird.
She crushes it. I think Chloe did better personally, but whatever. This is the sibling moment.
Yes.
Mackenzie is backstage, and she's waiting on Maddie to like be done to walk off stage, whatever.
She saunters off.
Mackenzie leaps onto her sibling, and Maddie like pushes her off. Mackenzie kind of swats her, and Maddie like smacks her, and then Mackenzie chases. She's like, no, runs after her and smacks Maddie, and Maddie turns around and smacks.
Yeah, it was so
It's
good.
like, and that's how me and my sister are now, and I'm about to be 28 and Neely's in her 30s, and we're just like, we're always smacking each other.
I'm about to turn 34 and Sam is 31 and we still smack each other
There's
all the
nothing
time.
like smacking your sibling, just turning around and like, whoosh,
Well, and the thing
giving
is,
him one of these.
Maddie is like clearly frustrated because she like says she's like
all my turns were bad.
And,
you know?
So she comes out and Mackenzie's just like super happy for it. And she pushed her off. She's like, "Stop! I'm mad right
Like,
now.
knock it off."
And Mackenzie's like, "Hey," and kind of like gives her one of these. And Maddie's like, "Dude, don't touch me." And Mackenzie's like, "Oh, now we're fighting."
Yeah.
Yes. She's like, you can
Yeah.
see that thought go across her face. She's like, "Oh, it's on now."
They play this like very sinister music, like Maddie's lashing out kind of like vibe. But it's
No.
if you have a sibling, you know. It doesn't
just-
matter what
yeah.
age you are, you're smacking your sibling, no problem, all the time.
I smack Sam at least once every time I see him.
You have to.
Yes.
Like, come on. Especially if you're like the same gender sibling and you like lived a very
Yeah.
similar experience, you're smacking each other, no problem.
Well, I mean, and have you seen Sam's face? My God,
Punchable.
It's
He looks like you.
he
Punchable
just needs
face.
To be no, he's me, but up the smackable quotient by like.
Is he the bald
25%.
one?
He has buzzed his head. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Smackable.
Yeah.
We're in the green room. Kelly asks Abby if this, like, she thinks this experiment worked. And Abby's like, honestly, I'm just thrilled that Chloe to remember the dance. And Christy, like,
just goes like,
Christy, like,
"What?"
rolls her eyes and she's like, oh my God, like, that was so mean and you did not have to say that.
It's also not true. Like, Chloe doesn't have trouble remembering dances. Abby literally just wants to find a way to knock Chloe down a peg.
Yes.
Because she knows that Chloe's probably about to win. And she's like, okay, well, I gotta get a dig in at her at some point, so I'm not going to be able to when she wins.
Yeah, true.
So
It's
dumb.
really annoying. And because of this like moment, and then also Jill asks her who she thinks will win, and Abby's like, I don't know. And
It's in
Jill
the judge's hands.
Jill reveals that she like has this footage. You would think that she has access to the Zapruder film. Like she like is like, I have on my phone. You know what the Zapruder film is? Do you know what that is? It's the footage that is like allegedly of the person who actually shot John F. Kennedy.
Oh, okay.
Shot by a guy. The footage was shot by a guy whose last name was Zapruder, and so the Zapruder film is like proof that what's his face shot JFK.
Got it.
So anyway, like this grand reveal that like I have footage, and Melissa is like, Jill, shut the fuck up. And Melissa only goes 0 to 100 when she knows she's been caught in a lie.
Oh, yeah, she's real defensive.
That's her defense mechanism. Shutting down is just like whatever. But when she knows she's been had,
Oh, yeah.
she starts yelling. Like
immediately.
that's her tell. You know what I mean? And she's pissed.
Christy says, you're known to lie. Get fucked. Abby
I get fucked.
Abby then in the next frame is shrieking.
Yeah.
What difference does it make? You all know Maddie can go out there and learn to dance in an hour.
And I went,
But then okay, two things. First of all, then the fight just ends.
then they're like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, like, okay, that's not
Okay,
screaming.
whatever.
But secondly, Christy and Jill just caught you both red-handed. Like, you were lying about
Yeah.
Maddie not getting extra lessons.
Yeah.
And your claim that Maddie learns dances super fast now doesn't hold water because we know she's been getting extra help on the side.
Yep.
So
You just told
say
on yourself.
You know she can go out and learn to dance in an hour. Can she?
Can she?
She's
She
been
got
getting
extra
help
practice.
this whole time.
Yep. Good point. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. She just like fully told on herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Like, Abby, we don't know that.
Yeah.
You're a liar.
You're giving her extra credit or extra practice.
Stop
so how would we know that?
simping for an 11-year-old. It's so weird.
Yeah, and also just kiss Melissa.
Yeah,
you guys
God,
are literally
just
in love.
kiss
Just kiss
already.
a little. We're running
More
the
like
group.
Makissa, am I right?
I'll let you have that. Ow!
What do you mean, ow?
You hit like my neck.
All right, so I had to reach like 70% of the distance, and you were just like, high five me, Eli, right here at this distance.
Yep. I stand by that.
Fine.
We're running the group. We're
The
running
group.
the group number in the green room.
Group is
The group
ass.
number. Abby is screaming all these French dance terms at the girls. The moms are all now wearing like little pink like cancer awareness ribbons. Abby talks about cancer again. Kelly pulls her girls aside and tells them to dance for their grandfather in the sense of like, he would have loved to see you dance.
What's
the
his
grandfather who has cancer.
What's his name?
His last name is spelled Kuhn.
So Papa Coon is what they call him.
Yes.
I thought I heard. Okay. I was just making
Kuhn.
sure
That's
I
his
heard
last
that
name.
correctly.
Yeah.
All right.
That's his last name. He, side note, is still alive.
Yes.
Has been cancer free according to Kelly for like 10 years. So she's like, I don't know why I'm talking about him like he's dead in this episode.
Well,
but he's not. He's fully still alive today.
That means he's fine right after this episode airs.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she said on the podcast. She's like, I don't know why I'm talking about him like she was like, we knew he wasn't going to die. And I'm like, your grandfather would have loved to see you dance. And she was like, he could have come up from Florida and seen them dance.
Oh, I thought maybe he was like still receiving treatment and wasn't healthy enough to travel.
She was like, I don't know why I'm talking about him like that. Yeah, but just for the show.
Oh, I guess. She also only says it to Paige and not Brooke.
Yeah, it was
Paige,
probably like on their way out, and Brooke was probably like
Brooke was
at the front of the
right
line.
There.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was like 4 feet behind her.
Stupid. Christy is. Wait, what? Kelly's a little emotional. We're in the green room. Christy seeing her cry is going to. Oh, this is the moment where Christy and Kelly make up because Christy's like, you just never know how short your life will be, and it's too short for us to be fighting.
So yeah, Kelly.
And now they're friends again. Everything's fine.
It begins with Kelly and her talking head, like as she's like really tearing up, says her dad would be proud. Christy in her talking head says it was so hard to see her, Kelly, cry. Even though sometimes you don't like your sister, you do still love your sister. And then she goes and like hugs Kelly from behind and like really holds on for a long time and gives her a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
I teared up a little bit.
Yeah, it's cute.
I know that feeling.
It's a cute moment.
I very much know that feeling.
As mysteriously as this fake plot line began, it is now ended.
It evaporates.
It is truly nothing.
Yeah, Kelly in her talking head that says, even though it might not be exactly the same, life's too short to lose a friendship.
Slay, whatever.
So cute.
The group performs. It's very good. Love.
Great.
It's time for awards. The group wins first.
Duh.
Love. They get probably the sympathy vote, and also they did a good job.
Well, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Mackenzie in her solo wins second, and Asia gets first. Duh.
I think we probably saw that coming.
It's time for Chloe and Maddie's awards. I have in my notes, I want Chloe to win so bad I could die. And then I said, let's fucking go, because Chloe gets first.
Yes.
Maddie gets second. Suck it, Abby. Chloe wins, and I'm screaming, and so is Christy. Those are my notes.
And it said, Christy in her talking, it says, this is a huge boost for Chloe's confidence, and it proves to Abby once again that Chloe is a force to be reckoned with.
True.
Love that. Abby then says in front of the other moms that Maddie definitely should have won. Like as they're sitting in the seats, she says loudly,
she's like, that's
weird. I think
weird.
Maddie should have won.
Yeah, and Kelly leans over and looks at Melissa, and she's like, are you okay? Melissa's like, I'm fine. I don't care. I'm like, oh, you're lashing out because you're lying.
Yes.
Because you're not fine with that.
Yeah, and then Maddie pretends like she's not upset, but she is. She doesn't lose
and
ever.
Kendall's like, how are you? Like, are you okay? Maddie's like, I'm literally fine. And she goes, Paige, you saw me. I was smiling the whole time during awards, which is like just the exact same attitude as Melissa.
Yes.
Where she's like, I don't care. I'm fine. And just gets mad.
Smiling?
Yeah,
I'm smiling.
Gets mad about talking about how fine she is.
Yeah.
Like, okay, whatever. Okay, so we go back to the green room. This is when I like felt my soul leave my body. We're back in the green room. There's like kind of like an awkward silence because Chloe won. This 6'9" announcer.
Hold on, before you even get to that,
go for it.
Melissa is the absolute worst at comforting Maddie.
Yeah. Oh, she's like, we're fine.
She doesn't
literally
know,
everything's fine.
She doesn't know how to like deal with Maddie losing because she never does. So
Right.
she has no idea how to like uplift her. Like, no, you're already amazing. And so she literally says, "Hey, it's good.
It's all good. We're fine.
All good." Like it looks like the most forced
It's so
sentence
uncomfortable
to ever leave her mouth.
It's so uncomfortable.
Crazy. Anyways, the huge guy comes in.
The huge guy comes in. The announcer is like, "Hey, there was a mix-up, and there was a judge who gave Chloe 97 points in a category where you can the highest number you can
It was
award
27 instead of 25.
Instead of 25, I thought it was 97 instead of 95. Anyway, more than what is allotted, more than what you can get.
Hello, chicken.
Hi, mama. And so because of this mix-up, Maddie has actually won. Now, I don't understand that because if Chloe, I guess that's fair. It knocks the average down. Anyway, the announcer comes in and Chloe, this is where Christy said she had the biggest problem. Chloe has to give Maddie the first place plaque.
Yeah.
And then has to take the second place one from Maddie. Well, now, the announcer's like, thank you so much. Like, I'm so sorry this like almost never happens, whatever. And they're like, it's okay. Like, thank you so much.
And then he leaves.
He leaves.
Well, so as soon as Maddie was announced as the winner, Chloe is the only one who like she immediately looks sad but starts clapping. She's like, I know my role as second place.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
And Abby throws both hands in the air and she goes, wow! And she's freaking out and she's like, let's go.
Well,
whatever.
She claims to be celebrating. She's like, everyone did so well.
No. And she's like, congrats on being good sports. Girl, we know you're just excited because Maddie got first place. Enough. So then Christy is like, how did you know that there was a discrepancy to ask about?
Yeah.
And Abby said, Jill, using her voice for good for once in her fucking life, asks Abby, how did you know that there was a scoring discrepancy? And Abby's like, oh, I didn't know. They came to me.
Yeah, she's like, they brought it to me. And literally the second she gets done saying, oh, I didn't know, they brought it to me, the MC walks back in and says,
walked off with your score sheets.
I just happened to have these score sheets on me. I was walking around with them, so you can have them back. Again, we are so sorry. This hardly ever happens. Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
And Abby, she's like, you're welcome. He leaves. She is in silence.
She turns around, kind of gives like a little
she has nothing to say,
closed mouth shoulder shrug to the moms, and then walks off.
A little bit of helpful behind the scenes tea. Lifetime recorded there's footage of her recorded where she went into the judge's room and was so mad and so irate about this, and it looked so bad that Lifetime refused to air it because it made her look too bad. That's how bad it was that Lifetime was like, no, she looks like too much of a villain. We can't air that. But it was so bad that they couldn't even air it. And the reunion at the end of season 3, they brought in one of the judges to talk about this moment where he was like, no, Abby came in and started yelling at us. And we basically like had to like figure out a problem or like find an issue or whatever. And he's in the reunion and they cut him out because it makes Abby look too bad. Because he's like, yeah, you came in and were screaming at us. Jesus, and they cut it out.
That is so
And that's
wild.
how the episode ends.
That is also the least surprising thing to have ever happened ever, is that Abby cannot handle Maddie not being perfect.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's her golden child.
But the way that he was like, she was like immediately like, oh, no, they brought it to me. I didn't ask them. And then immediately that guy comes back and is like, thank you for bringing it to our attention. I'm like, God damn it, I love this show. That's
such good television.
It's so good.
It's honestly such good television.
And that's also how it ends. That's the end of the episode.
Abby, I just no.
Abby, go fuck yourself.
No soul whatsoever.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
True. Okay, you got a song this week, brother?
I do.
What you got?
And I'm glad we're no longer playing it because it's
you getting hot?
It would not come across nearly as well through this mic.
Oh, sure.
But it's Bow Tie by Outkast.
Oh, I think I've heard that song before.
Outkast has a lot of really great songs. I could have gone with Roses or Miss Jackson or I Like the Way You Move or whatever.
Miss Jackson.
So Fresh, So Clean is a bop.
I always think Outkast is a metal band. I don't know why I think that.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Outkast, I firmly believe, is like the best hip-hop rapper or duo or whomever to ever exist. I think Outkast is so good.
You think Outkast is better than Run DMC?
Yes, by a country mile.
Damn.
It's not even close. Bow Tie by Outkast. I could also just recommend you listen to the entire like Speakerbox Love Below album. It's like a 2-part album where like Andre 3000 had his focus and Big Boy had his focus on like the two sides. It is a brilliant album. It's so good. Literally some of the best rap and hip hop you'll ever hear in your life.
Slay.
Yeah.
Let's see. The song of the week that I want to recommend is did you put it on the playlist already?
Oh, no, I didn't.
This song.
My one responsibility.
Yeah, for real. The only thing you do besides talk shit.
I've never talked shit in my life, actually.
I want to recommend a country cover of the Taylor Swift song "Anti-Hero." There's a country cover, a bluegrass cover of it that is so good and is better than the original, I think, in my opinion. Please don't tweet my address. It is by Joshua and the Bonavilles, or it's Josiah, excuse me.
Joshua and Josiah.
Josiah and the Bonavilles, I think.
Yeah, I got
Anti-Hero country version.
The Bonevilles.
It's really good. It's just like there's a harmonica, there's a banjo, it's bluegrass. It's so good.
Got it.
The playlist of all the music that we recommend is in the link tree that's in the description of the show notes. Also in the poll, Eli, you will be happy to know, the Spotify poll, that your whole hand with the Nux, as of the time that we're recording this, won.
Of course it did.
Stupid idiot.
I just had this argument with a couple of my coworkers as well.
Yeah, it won. It won not by a lot, but it won a little bit.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Liza, you are just fully in
Liza
the episode
is
now.
shedding. She's getting hot.
Yeah, it's all over my pants.
I'm so sorry.
If you are listening, we really appreciate you listening. Also, go to the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
and
the Pyramid
Liza
Podcast
has made an appearance for the last couple of minutes.
My sweet baby. I was wondering if she was going to show up.
She made a forced appearance in the last episode.
Oh, yeah, true.
When I helped
against her will.
Yeah,
an appearance against her will.
This one, she's trying to put her butt in my face, as cats are known to do.
Sweet baby. Let's see. Oh yeah, we gotta go. My roommate's trying to move in. So not he.
It is.
Her boyfriend just pulled up. So
it is 10 a.m.
We gotta go. Thank you so much for listening. Please be sure to check out the YouTube channel, like and subscribe, all that good shit. The Instagram, for me, Instagram for Eli, all the good things. I gotta go because there's a pickup truck outside of my house. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.
Goodbye.